All right, we are coming on with live pictures right now from a huge fire that is burning in the East Bay. This is in Benicia at the Valero refinery. This fire breaking out about an hour ago, and it's tough to see from this view, but there's a lot of thick black smoke coming from the refinery right now. Our chopper is on the way, and we're trying to find out more information. This is video from earlier because this thick black smoke is coming up on all of the highways in the area. We're talking 680. Highway 4. You can see this huge plume of black smoke. And anybody who lives in that area is being told to try to avoid this. Close your doors, close your windows, stay inside because we don't know what is in that smoke right now as far as air quality. The Bay Area Air Quality District is on the way to try to determine the health effects of what is going on right now, but this is an evolving situation. Again, taking a look at some of the pictures from within the past hour of that refinery, you can see here in this live picture, or this is a time lapse from within the past hour, and you can see how the smoke has just been really continuous. Again, coming from the oil refinery there in Benicia, the Valero oil refinery, and there was some sort of fire that broke out at about 9 o'clock. Now, this refinery has been in the news recently. You might have heard they're about to make some significant changes to their operation, including potentially not processing oil anymore. They say that they're going to stop operating in the way that they have been operating by next year. But in the meantime, we have another fire breaking out at the refinery, and that is some really nasty smoke, as you can see from these pictures from social media that were taken within the last hour, and the fire continues to burn right now. So more of that smoke being emitted as we speak. It is looking very hazy from this live camera you can see in the East Bay right now as that smoke sort of settles around the bay. This is in Benicia at the Valero oil refinery. So when it comes to that smoke, we don't know exactly how toxic it is, but it's certainly not a good situation. Again, the Bay Area Air Quality District telling people to stay indoors if you can, close your doors, close your windows, and try to avoid breathing this smoke as they try to figure out exactly what's going on and put that fire out. Live pictures right now over the bay. Benicia is is a place that has a lot of water around it, so that is something that could be being carried around the bay as we continue to watch this evolve this Monday morning. That fire breaking out at around 9 o'clock, according to the Benicia Fire Department, and it has been burning ever since. Our helicopter is on the way. We're going to get some fresh live pictures momentarily, and we're going to stay with you here on air until those pictures come in, because this fire has been at it for about 45 minutes right now and shows no signs of slowing from the last live pictures that we saw. This is video from within the last hour. It's just really thick and really black smoke coming from that Benicia refinery. So that is where they process some of the oil for the Valero company, one of several sites that Valero uses to do that. And that area of the East Bay has a couple of oil refineries, and their future right now is sort of up in the air, if you will, as they try to decide if they are going to continue their operations in California. We know there's going to be some sort of change in operations next year. But in the meantime, we have this fire that is burning right now. We are also getting word that an elementary school in the area, Robert Semple Elementary School, they are under a shelter-in-place order. So that means all students and staff remaining indoors until further notice. So they're following the advice that firefighters are giving right now. Everybody should try to avoid this smoke, and sheltering in place is the best course of activity right now as this fire continues to burn, because that is some nasty smoke coming over the area of Valero in Benicia. So just to give you an idea of where we're looking at, this is near the intersections of Highway 4, Highway 680. People are reporting smelling that smoke, because it just came out, as a plume over the past hour, and the smoke has been continuing to pour out of the refinery since then. We know that in addition to the Bay Area Air Quality District heading to the scene, the Contra Costa County Health Department is sending a hazmat team right now to Martinez to try to monitor for any impacts to the area, which there will be some because you can see we have some very nasty chemicals now being dispersed in the air. That is why this shelter in place order is in effect in the Benicia Martinez area because they're trying to make sure that people can try to avoid whatever adverse health effects are coming from this smoke. Again, we heard of one elementary school in the area that has basically been put on lockdown, and they're again following the advice that everyone's supposed to right now. Stay in your home if you can. Shut your windows, shut your doors. This is time lapse video of how that fire has evolved, and you can see the smoke again just continuing to pour out of this oil refinery in Benicia. It is owned by Valero, and we have not heard any sort of comment yet from Valero. We are working right now again to get our helicopter on the scene to get the very latest. Usually, when we see these sorts of fires at our local refineries, they're able to at least put the burning fire out within a couple of hours. So the fact that this has already been burning for an hour is interesting. So hopefully they're going to be able to at least get that fire out. But then you have the concerns about, what kind of chemicals, what kind of toxicities have already been released, not only into the air, but a lot of those particles then, settling around the communities. And we know that a lot of people, particularly in Martinez and Benicia, have had issues, have had concerns about their groundwater and their quality of their soil after several of these fires. And then also we've seen releases. All right, so here's the very latest. This is a live look right now from our chopper. It's just arriving on scene, and it looks like things have calmed down significantly from that last piece of video that we saw. Plenty of thick smoke hanging around the area, but we're not seeing it pour out of the refinery as we did about a half an hour ago. So that is good news. Again, you're learning about this as we learn about it, watching the live pictures come in as we try to gather information. That's what we do on CBS News Bay Area, streaming live local. We are giving you the very latest information and the very latest pictures as they come in. So you see some smoke coming out of that stack, and that could also be water vapor because that is common at the refinery. But as far as the smoke that is settled around the ground, that is something that could be the cause for concern. I think we're seeing, I thought that was a water spout, but I think that's just the fire department there on ground. These refineries have their own fire departments to try to get a handle on anything that might go bad. But we know that Contra Costa Fire also there, as well as several of the monitoring agencies. The Contra Costa Health Department there sending a hazmat team. We have the Bay Area Air Quality District there trying to determine exactly what kind of a health hazard we have here. And as our chopper zooms in, trying to find the source of that fire, again, this situation has improved drastically over the past half hour. Really good news that they appear to have gotten that fire out and have gotten some control over it. You can see it's still burning. Yep, still some flames burning. And of course, we're talking about oil. This is where they're processing oil. So a lot of flammable materials there. And there is just a certain number of fires that burn. And that's part of the release process. That's part of the monitoring process that they have there, that you would have several fires burning, but not out of control. So that was obviously an anomaly, what we saw. Unfortunately, not that much of an anomaly because we have seen several fires burning at this refinery over the years, as well as the others. But now we have water being put on that fire. What you're looking at there, likely just steam. But again, this all remains to be seen as the firefighters continue to deal with the immediate threat, the fire, and then we're going to have to deal with the health effects from there. They got water coming on that for several angles. So good news. Coming at you from Benicia as we continue to watch this fire burn and emergency workers try to get a handle on that. And then we have the aftermath that will be continuing to follow as well over the course of the next day and the next weeks when it comes to air quality and how many toxic chemicals may have been released and are now in the environment. This is something that's been a concern for a lot of the neighborhoods in that area. Sometimes it's tough to get information on exactly what kind of chemicals was in the smoke or what was being released. There we are seeing some fire personnel arriving on scene and some of the Benicia refinery workers there trying to, again, get a handle on the immediate emergency, and then we'll try to figure out the after effects afterward. For people who are living in that area, though, the best of advice is to close your doors, close your windows, make sure that you're not breathing this smoke. And we heard at least one elementary school, likely all of them, deciding to follow the county's advice and keep their students and teachers on lockdown right now, so that they're not breathing any of this smoke in. But it has significantly trailed off from what we saw over the last hour. We just got a statement in from the Benicia Unified School District. When it comes to this, they said that they have been informed by Benicia Fire or of the fire at the refinery. They say that there is no indication that they are in immediate danger, but that as a precaution, Robert Semple Elementary School is under a shelter-in-place order. So that means everyone is staying indoors, and that is the advice from the fire department and from the Air Quality Management District for everybody in that area. As we continue to watch these live pictures, these are pictures from our chopper over the scene right now in Benicia at the refinery in Benicia, the Valero oil refinery. This fire that broke out at about 9 this morning. People were reporting this. This was the tail end of the morning commute, but people were seeing this on Highway 4, on 680. There was just a huge plume of black smoke, and luckily things have been improved significantly now that emergency workers are on the scene, firefighters there spraying water on this fire from several angles to try to mitigate this situation. So again, you're looking at live pictures as we continue to follow this and continue to try to get more information from emergency officials. We have calls in right now to some of the local fire departments, to Valero, obviously, in charge of this facility, and also the Bay Area Air Quality Management District, so that they can keep us informed as to what we should be worried about when it comes to this. Here's some new video that came in. You can see a couple of blocks there from the refinery. You can see, I was talking about the smoke, very thick black smoke that was coming off the refinery earlier. So this is new video just coming in. If you live around that area, you might have seen this, you might have smelled it, you might know of somebody who was, again, driving through the area and saw this smoke. Live pictures right now. You can see firefighters there on scene. Valero has their own fire department there on scene to deal with it, but this was something that they needed some help with because it took off quite quickly after this fire broke out at about 9 this morning. And so we have Contra Costa Fire there on scene. And again, there in the foreground, you're seeing what is likely steam. And this is one of the difficulties when it comes to looking at the refinery, of steam coming out of some areas. Some of it's the smoke is the real concern at this point. And that is what the Bay Area Air Quality District is out there trying to deal with. Significantly less than what we saw over the past hour coming out of the refinery, and that is why they gave people that shelter in place order. Live pictures right now from our chopper above the scene as we try to get more information. Again, let's just backtrack to some of the history here at the refinery. I mean, the community has had a lot of concerns surrounding this refinery and what kinds of things when they come with even just a maintenance release, a normal release, which looks like a fire coming out of the refinery. There's been concerns about what sort of toxicities are in that release, are in that smoke. Um, and this did not appear to be something that was of the norm. So that is going to cause more concerns for the community as far as what they're dealing with there. And also, just last month, big announcement from Valero that they were going to stop operating as they are right now. We still don't know what's going to become of this plant next year, but they said that they're going to stop operating it as an oil refinery likely by next April. So that has left really the whole community in limbo, people not knowing what this facility is going to be, a lot of concern about lost jobs. And now we have this fire this morning. Not uncommon. This was obviously more of an emergency situation than has been in the last couple of months. But we do see periodic fires breaking out here. And so this has been one of the reasons that the refinery has been slightly controversial when it comes to its operation in the East Bay and the effects that might have on the surrounding community, as well as the bay, frankly. Benicia is sitting right there on the water in the North Bay. So again, we are taking a look at live chopper pictures this morning from this fire that broke out at the Valero refinery at around 9 o'clock this morning. This is what it looked like right after that fire broke out. Really nasty, thick black smoke coming out. And that is what caused a shelter-in-place order. People being told to close their doors, close their windows, try to protect yourself from this smoke. We saw the Benicia Unified School District. They said at that point it was out of an abundance of caution to lock down their schools. Lockdown sounds a little bit scarier than it is, but basically getting the students, the teachers, into the building, shutting the doors and windows so you just have less exposure to this smoke. Live pictures right now, you can see some of the water that firefighters have been spraying on this fire. They have been really going full bore on this thing for about 20 minutes now, and they do appear to have that fire generally out or under control. Again, you're talking about oil and some of the components in oil, which makes fighting fire all the more complicated, which is why they do have their own fire departments on scene there. And of course, when you're talking, the fire departments in that area, in the North Bay in general, they're used to dealing with this. They have special procedures, protocols to try to mitigate fires at these refineries. Taking a wider look right now from our live chopper, you can see things really appear to have calmed down. So really good news when it comes to the air quality. And the air actually looks fairly clean from that live picture that we were just seeing, compared obviously to these pictures that were taken about an hour ago. This was one of the views, just really, really nasty smoke that was blanketing the area. We saw people that were reporting smelling this smoke from the highways around the area, Highway 4, Highway 680, this breaking out at around 9 o'clock. So just at the tail end of the morning commute, obviously a spectacle there. Concern for people seeing that coming out of the Valero refinery in Benicia. Let's go back to our live pictures. You can see they're continuing to spray water on this fire. We don't know what components of the refinery was on fire. You can see some damage done there. Still waiting for a lot more information. We are have calls in right now to the local fire departments, obviously to Valero, that is in charge of the plant there in Benicia. and trying to find out a little bit more information. But really good news as far as the immediate danger seems to have been significantly mitigated. They're on scene. They're going to stay on scene. And yeah, as you're seeing this as we're seeing it, the air quality looks pretty decent. As Chopper widens out its view and lets us know what the atmosphere around that Valero refinery looks like. Pretty good. Of course, the smoke has already been released, so it has to go somewhere, and it has been dispersed around the Bay Area. I'm not sure about the wind currents at this point, but if you live around there, if you're driving around there, you might have seen it, you might have smelled it, and we're still waiting for word from the Bay Area Air Quality District, as well as the hazmat team, the hazardous materials team that the Contra Costa County Health Department has sent to the area, because we will get information from them as to the best course of action. Again, if you live around there, you've been through this. It's life goes back to normal within a matter of a couple of hours. And at that point, a lot of people are just wondering, well, what did I breathe in? And what has potentially been deposited on our soil. So that is always something that has been a concern for a lot of people around there. And so we will continue to follow that as we get more information. Okay, we are about to hear a little bit more from a public information officer for the city of Benicia to find out exactly what they know at this point, because this has been evolving. And when you think of the city of Benicia, they're just trying to, run block on all the different agencies that are dealing with this: Valero, the fire department, the health department, and trying to gather all the information that people in Benicia would need to know at this point, as we continue to watch live pictures from our chopper of a fire that broke out at around 9 o'clock. The fire itself appears to be out. And so now the question is, what now? Are there any health concerns that we have to worry about? And what was in that smoke? So judging from the past, what we've seen when we've seen these fires at these refineries, we have, of course, several in the East Bay, East North Bay, Valero, Chevron, sometimes they catch fire. And so this is something that people that live around there have gotten used to dealing with, as have the officials. So again, we are going to hear momentarily, actually, I believe we have her on the phone right now, Colette Show, the public information officer for the city of Benicia. Can you hear me, Colette?
Yes, I can.
Colette, can you hear us? You're live right now on CBS News Bay Area.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for taking a time out of obviously a busy morning here. What can you tell us about what's going on there at the Valero plant?
Yes, so there are currently no injuries that we know of. We have not put out an evacuation notice, but we have asked residents if they smell smoke to shelter in place and shut windows, close doors. And we are getting assistance from other local fire jurisdictions. And we are monitoring the air. Actually, Bay Area Quality District provided us with some portable air monitors so we can monitor the air more carefully.
And are you hearing anything from Valero yet on this?
We don't have any information right now. Our fire department team has been working very closely with them on this incident and providing these updates, and as well as us reporting.
Yeah, can you just give us a little background? We know that fires are not uncommon there. Tell me from your perspective, can you just give us a little context of what has happened here this morning?
It is just a structure fire at the refinery, but the fire is not expected to spread. So we're hoping that we'll be able to fully contain it in the very near future.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I know we've seen fires like this. They pop up every so often at the refinery. Would you say that this is highly unusual?
don't know that I would say it's highly unusual, but this is an incident that, it's the first incident that we've really seen this year. They do happen from time to time, as well as flaring. Valero, is trying to make sure that the community is safe throughout these incidents. So it does happen from time to time, but it is a little more unusual.
Okay, so we're talking about the air quality because that's a lot of people's concerns right now. The fire appears to be out. So what are we being told right now as far as the shelter in place?
Yeah, so residents are still being asked if they smell the smoke to shelter in place. That has not been lifted, but no evacuation order is in place.
And we have several agencies that help deal with the aftermath of this. You have the Air Quality District and then the Contra Costa County Health Department. What are the roles of those agencies here?
Well, currently, Vallejo and Fairfield are assisting with the fire. Yes, and Contra Costa Health Department is helping. Again, we're just making sure that our residents are currently safe and there are no harmful risks to them, in which right now we are not expecting. It's just a shelter in place.
But as far as you know, we don't know what chemicals might have been burning in that smoke.
I don't have that information readily available in this office, but
Right.
We'll be providing updates to the community as we know more.
Anything else that our viewers should know about this? We saw this really rear up at around 9 o'clock, but now things certainly appear to be calming down. The fire is out, but the monitoring is going to go on for a while. So what now?
We're up until the shelter in place is lifted. We just ask residents if they smell smoke to shelter in place still. We are working very closely to make sure that the air is safe for our residents and are expecting no serious concerns, nor are we expecting anything above and beyond that right now.
Okay. And of course, the future of the refinery there is in question right now as well. When you see something like this, just as a Benicia resident, when you see something like this and then you hear it's going to be shutting down potentially soon, I don't know. Is there any context you can give on that?
No, we do not expect, that there's really a correlation around this. This is normal refinery operations of sometimes incidents happen. But we have been working pretty closely with Valero. They work very closely with us on incidents and provide updates to keep our community members safe. And they have been working with us as well with the refinery closure.
Okay, and now we're taking this is new video that was shot when this fire was at its height, and you can see that thick black smoke. Certainly a different picture from what we have seen now. And we have been speaking on the phone here with the public information officer of the city of Benicia, Colette Shao, because the city now working with the Air Quality Management District, the health department, several local fire departments to try to mitigate what we have here. Colette, anything else that you want people to know right now? Somebody who's maybe watching this unfold.
Yes, no further updates other than we are not evacuating and there is currently a shelter in place. Close your windows and doors if you smell smoke.
Okay. We appreciate you bearing with us here on the phone today, just dealing with all this new information coming in live and trying to pick your brain to figure out what anybody might need to know. So we really appreciate your time, Colette. And yes, please let us know if there's anything else you want people to know. We will get it out there because we are covering this live on CBS News Bay Area.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, again, looking at live pictures right now, our chopper is above the Valero refinery that is in Benicia. It's really kind of an amazing operation. You can see this facilities here from above. It's just, there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to an oil refinery and a lot of potential danger when it comes to an oil refinery as well. A lot of flammable materials. So that is why this raises some red flags, obviously, when we see a fire happening there. When you see something like this, toxic black smoke, pouring out of the refinery. But as we talked about with Colette Chow, this is not uncommon per se, but it's not pleasant, if you will, when it comes to people living around the areas, and then they have to be concerned about what kind of health effects might be had in the air, in the groundwater, in the soil. And we know that those communities have had a lot of concerns over the years. Some people even having concerns about growing vegetables in their own garden. So you've been watching live coverage here at the refinery in Benicia, the Valero refinery, which is, by the way, slated to stop its current operations next year. That's the news that came out last month. And here we have a fire that started at around 9 o'clock today. So we have been watching that. We've been watching the information coming out from the public health agencies, the Bay Area Air Quality District. We've not seen them pull back on their direction, which is to, if you see smoke, smell smoke, close your doors, close your windows, try to avoid this smoke, stay home, as they try to figure out exactly what's going on here. They have a bunch of air monitors out there from the Contra Costa County Health Department, and we are going to continue to follow any other public directives that come from this developing story, this fire that is now out at the Valero refinery. We're going to continue to follow it. Take a quick break. Stay with us here at live coverage, CBS News Bay Area.